huwag mo akong salingin.
Noong tinahak ng binata ang daan, patungo sa kaniyang mga pangarap, walang sinayang na oras at pagkakataon para tuklasin ang kayamanan ng bayan. Walang iba, kundi ang karunungan.
Mauuna na po ako, Ama.
Mag-iingat ka, anak. Mag-aaral kang mabuti doon at parati mong tatandaan na edukasyon ko ang tanging kayamanan na ipapamahal mo sa iyo.
Sa pananaw ng General, nararapat lamang ang pagkakatanggal mo, Padre Damas. Alalahanin mo na ipinahukay mo ang bangkay ng isang marangal na lalaki dahil lamang sa hindi pangungkusan nito.
Yung pagkwentang rason upang tanggalin ako bilang paroko ng simbahan. Maligayang pagbabalik, Crisostomo.
Pagkapurin ninyo sa aking amay, mabarang sa aking kinala tungkol sa kanyang pagpanaw. Ngunit, humibali na lang. Ako nga po pala si Juan Crisostomo, Ibarra ni Gonzalo.
Ikaw ang epitomiya ng kagandahan at kabutihan. Hindi ko na kinakailangang umanap pa ng iba. Binibining Maria Clara.
Ang kasiyahan at pagdiriwang ay agad na mapapalitan ng inis, kalungkutan at kaguluhan.
Isang paaralan para sa mga ignoranteng tao rito. Iyan ay isang gusali na aking pinangarap din bago ako itinuring na isang baliw. Ito'y nagtatagumpay sa iyong hangarin kung sa mga puro kahihingi ng tulong.
Ito ba na maaari mong imungkasi sa akin?
Kung pinagkaiba sa iyong ama na mamamatay tao, walang utang na loob, ingrato!
Ang lahat ng simula ay may katapusan. Ngunit ang wakas ay hindi ang hangganan, sapagkat ito'y isang bagong pagmula pa lamang. Kahit gaano ka kaingat magtago ng isang lihim, wala pa ring lihim ang hindi napupunyag.
Ano ang ginawa mo sa aking ama?
Ako ka na lamang sa sinasabi mo.
Hindi ikaw.
Sino ang gumawa nito?
Wala akong makasalanan. Si Prophet Damas, sa akin sinagaling lamang ito.
Papatayin nila ako! Huwag mo akong mabayaan! Basilio!
Palabasin niyo ako!
Diyos ko, iligtas mo ang aking mga anak. Crispin? Basilio?
Ayaw ko nang makita ni Maria Clara ang ingratong si Crisostomo Ibarra. Nais kong may kasal ka, Maria Clara, kay Inaris.
Maraming nadamay, nagbago, naghirap at nagsumamo. May mga tumakas sa katotohanan upang makaranas ng kaligayahan. Tinahak ang bawat parte ng buhay upang makaligtas.
Pabayaan na ninyo yan sa pamahalaan. Magsimba na lamang kayo.
May mali, kaya lumalaban.
Makinig, manood, nasa teleradyo. Makinig, manood, nasa teleradyo. Teleradyo, teleradyo Marcelo. Sa gitna ng mapanubok na panahon.
Good morning and blessed day, Del Pilarians. I'm your teacher for today, Ma'am Cristel Chavez, and welcome to our weekly TLE dose of Teleradyo Marcelo, ang telearalan ng bawat Maloleño. Magandang buhay po, Del Pilarians. Like our page and click the notification bell para lagi kang updated sa mga broadcast. And every day, kailangan i-mention mo din ang mga classmates mo, and don't forget to engage by commenting your learnings and takeaways during Facebook Live. Hayaan nyo na mabati ko ang ating pinakamamahal na punong guro, Ma'am Maria Victoria C. Vivo, and also to our TLE department na pinamumunuan po ni Ma'am Virgie. Blessed day po sa ating lahat. Good morning din at hello din sa aking malalapit na kaibigan sa ibang department. Nandyan po si Ms. Paolo Jane Caparas, Wendy De Guzman, and Sir Edwin Santos, and also Sir Marvin Balite of ESP. Before we proceed to our new topic, let's have a short recap on the lesson last week. We have learned the inspection of hand tools, drawing instruments and equipment, and paraphernalia received in technical drafting. It also helped us to practice maintaining our tools and equipments to prolong its use. Now, let's proceed to our topic. And let us watch this together, a video that comes from JetPens that will help us to have a hint or have an idea to the topic that we will be discussing for today. So stay tuned, walang aalis mga grade 8, mga Kadel Pilarians na nandyan.
As stationery lovers, we understand if you've never been able to keep your growing collection organized. But don't worry, we're here to help. Here are 3 organization approaches that actually work, plus some important tips on general cleaning and upkeep. Let's get started. Before you can begin organizing, you need to go through your collection. Chances are you might have lost track of all the pens or washi tapes you own. If you're not sure where to begin, we suggest looking at the stationery you use most frequently, like the items in your pencil case. If you can't even zip it up anymore because of how many pens you've stuffed inside, it's in dire need of decluttering. Take everything out and create 2 piles. One for all the tools you use regularly, and one for the items you haven't touched in weeks. Continue this process until you've gone through all the stationery you own. Now that you have 2 piles of stationery, decide what to keep and what to give away to friends. Test items you haven't used in a while, and if they've dried out or don't work, buy refills or throw them away. Once you've laid out your whole collection and trimmed it down, it's time to decide what organization system is best for you. Here are 3 of our suggestions. The methodical approach involves categorizing items based on their function. Try to imagine how a stationery store would organize its products. All notebooks and binders will go in one place, with writing instruments in another. Adhesives like glues and tapes would go in another section, and so on. You can even make your categories more distinct. For example, split up your pens by ink type: gel pens, ballpoint pens, and highlighters. If you value structured organization or simply like the idea of your collection as your own personal store, you'll get the most out of this approach. Our second approach is grouping stationery items by their purpose and application. For example, all your planning supplies, washi tape, stickers, index tabs, should go in one spot. School and study supplies such as highlighters, sticky notes, and binders would have their own designated space. Your art supplies like paints, brushes, and sketchbooks would go in another area. If you have very specific purposes for your stationery, this system is definitely for you. It'll reduce the time you spend looking for certain items. If you're in the mood to plan, all your planning supplies will already be in one place. If you write with the same pens every day, it wouldn't make sense to put them in different locations. Our third system involves organizing stationery by how often you use it. You can start by placing your most used pens in one area. It should be within easy reach when you're at your desk, since that's where you'll spend the most time using your stationery. Next, dedicate another storage space for things you use semi-frequently. For example, study supplies or scrapbooking materials. This can be kept within arm's reach or at least nearby your desk. By this point, you're left with stuff you don't use much, such as fancy art supplies or stationery for decorating gifts. You can place these items in a larger box or drawer, out of sight and arm's reach since you won't need to access it frequently. Here are 3 general organization tips to keep in mind moving forward. Regardless of the method you choose, if you're placing things in a container, we recommend putting larger and flatter items inside first. Save the smaller and oddly shaped items for last. For example, it makes more sense to place a notebook or letter writing paper underneath your stickers, pencil sharpeners, and washi tape. This way, you'll avoid losing smaller items amidst your belongings. Sorting by color is super useful if you have a lot of pens, and we mean a lot of pens. You won't have to dig around for that one red pen if everything is already grouped by color. Other items you can organize by color are notebooks, craft supplies, and art supplies. Display items like washi tapes in rainbow order. It'll look much nicer than if you stored them randomly. It's tempting to leave things on your desk instead of putting them back where they belong. You tell yourself you'll put it away later, but the next thing you know, your stationery is all over the place. Try to train yourself to put items back where they belong once you've finished using them. For example, set a reminder on your phone to put things away. Or you can create rules for yourself. You can leave your desk only after you've put things back. Do you have any other tips for organizing your stationery collection? Let us know in the comments. If you found this video helpful, be sure to like, subscribe, and shop all the items featured in this video at jetpens.com, the place for pen and stationery lovers.
Okay, and that's the end of the video, and we hope that it has given us a idea to organize our workstation or workplace. So for that, our new topic for today is about procedure in setting up drawing tools, materials and equipment, and standard procedure. At the end of the lesson, you are expected to follow the standard in setting up drawing tools, materials, and equipment, and standard procedure. So what is the importance of this setting up or the procedures of the standard of drawing tools and materials or pagsiset up ng mga drawing tools and materials? We have 2 importance here. Number 1, we have the correct setting of standard procedure and accuracy of drawings. And secondly, cost and value in drafting activity. In correct setting of standard procedure and accuracy of drawings, the drawing tools, materials, and equipment are very expensive items. We all know that the materials and tools that we are doing for a certain task in drafting is talagang binibili natin. So we must know that each of them is very important. So we must know how to use it properly and correctly. Secondly, cost and value in drafting activity. Considering its cost and value in drafting activity, it is also important to take care and maintain its usability. The more that we practice maintaining, setting up, and being organized in our drafting tools, materials, and equipment, the more that we can prolong their lives or yung mga buhay ng mga gamit natin kesa bili tayo ng bili. Now, setting up the drawing tools and materials. We have the before the activity, during the activity, and after the activity. Ano nga ba yung mga dapat nating sinusunod at ginagawa when we are doing a certain task in drafting? So first, we have the before the activity. We must select the tools, materials, and equipment needed in the assigned task. Secondly, briefly elaborate on what you want to discuss. In selecting tools, materials, and equipment, make sure that we have the complete items or the items that we are needed to a certain task. Secondly, briefly elaborate on what you want to discuss. If you have questions to your teacher, please freely ask, lalo-lalo na sa mga activities na binibigay sa inyo ni teacher para mas malaman ninyo kung ano yung mga tamang gawin sa isang certain task. Next, clean the table and tools to see it that these are free from dust and other elements that would cause damage to your work. And number 4, wash your hands with clean water. We know that it is very important for us to practice cleaning and also organizing our working area. Mahirap naman na magsisimula tayo ng magulo ang paligid natin. At mas magandang magsagawa ng isang activity sa drafting lalo na kapag malinis ang working station. Next. Next, we have the activity proper. We already discussed the things that we must be doing before in activity proper. Now, we have here the activity proper na kailangan sinusunod natin kapag tayo ay gagawa na ng isang task sa drafting. Number 1, perform the activity by following the standard operating procedure per job requirement. Secondly, properly manipulate all the tools and equipment that are used in the activity. And thirdly, in case of errors or mistakes along the way, for instance, misprinting of lines, letters, and other forms of mistakes, use appropriate eraser. Habang gumagawa tayo ng certain tasks sa drafting, kailangan basahin nating mabuti yung mga directions na yung mga dapat nating sundin, certain design, certain lines, and also kapag kailangan nating magbura dahil alam naman natin na pag tayo ay nagkakamali, kailangan din nating itama. So, kailangan natin ng appropriate eraser for that. Also, we also have to check before we proceed to the next na gagawin natin. So, kung napansin ninyo, na-discuss na natin yung before, during, and now we will discuss or have this after the activity. So, pag natapos na natin gawin lahat ng mga kailangan nating sundin in a certain activity or task in drafting, syempre, kailangan na natin yung i-submit yung output natin sa mga teachers natin. Submit your output to your teacher for checking. And secondly, check all the tools and materials to ensure that nothing is lost. Next, return the tools and materials to the tool keeper. And next one, withdraw your borrower's card from the tool keeper and sign out that you have returned the borrowed tools and materials. And lastly, clean your workstation before leaving. As you can see, this is a checklist on how we can follow the standard procedures that in before, during, and after the activity or after the drafting activity. So we must learn to follow these instructions or checklist para mas maging organized yung paggawa natin in a certain activity. Here are some important practices in the workstation. We must observe the safety precautions. So we have number 1 or letter A, never smoke inside the station. Number 2, never use any tools and equipment without having it cleaned first. It is very important na itong mga safety precautions na to ay ino-observe natin dahil hindi lang ito para sa kapakanan natin, pero ganoon na rin sa mga kasama natin sa bahay. Pero ma'am, paano yun? Wala naman kami sa isang office or wala naman kami sa school. So even though that you are inside your house or you have a room or study room, it is very essential na magamit din natin ito. In general po itong mga safety precautions natin. Next. Avoid talking with your co-students during working period. Alam natin na madalas tayong maboard, lalo-lalo na nawala tayong face-to-face na klase. Pero During our activity proper, please maintain natin na kailangan magawa natin at matapos natin agad yung isang certain na task na pinagagawa sa ating teacher. Then always turn off the lights or air condition, ceiling fan, computer units, and other equipment before leaving the workstation. After nating matapos yung isang activity sa drafting, maganda siguro na tayo ay makatulong din makatipid kay nanay at tatay sa ating mga bahay-bahay na nandyan. Pag hindi na ginagamit ang ilaw, ang electric fan, o kahit naka-aircon ka man, maganda na patayin natin yung mga appliances kapag hindi na natin ginagamit. Next, maintain cleanliness in the workstation. Kailangan ma-practice natin na maging malinis tayo, hindi lamang sa katawan natin, pero ganoon na rin sa kapaligiran natin. And use tools and equipment properly. Next is second, observe punctuality or attendance. Avoid quarreling with your co-students. So ito very applicable to lang lalo na pag nagkaroon na tayo ng F2F classes. But for now, kahit na wala tayong F2F, nakalagay dito observe punctuality of attendance. Kailangan pasok-pasok din kapag may online class. Next, observe and practice the value of respect. Return the borrowed tools and equipment on time. Observe and practice proper disposal of waste. So dito, makikita natin na kailangan kahit hindi po tayo nagkakaroon ng F2F na klase, kahit tayo ay nasa bahay lang, maganda pa rin na we practice the value of respect, lalo-lalo na sa mga kapitbahay natin, sa mga kasama natin sa bahay, at ganoon din sa mga kapatid at pinsan natin. Kung meron man tayo na mga hiniram na gamit, dahil alam naman natin na hindi natin masyadong kayang bilhin yung mga pricey na product ng drafting, pero may mahihiraman tayo, make sure na maisasauli mo ito ng maayos. At the same time, isoli natin din ito ng nasa tamang oras or kung ano yung pinangako mong oras na ibabalik mo yung gamit na yun. And observe and practice proper disposal of waste. Alam natin na kapag in a certain drafting activity, madaming pudpod ng eraser yan, madaming papel ang magagamit. So kailangan itapon natin yung mga kalat o basura natin sa tamang tapunan. Now, please be reminded, Delpilarians, that we will have a short break. So during our short break, please watch this video. And after that, huwag kayong bibitiw dahil tayo ay kailangan maganda para sa ating short quiz.
Oh, hey guys, struggling with online learning? Me too. What are some common issues for students? Well, first, I can't get organized. Second, I'm overwhelmed. Third, I keep getting distracted. I'm tired and I'm getting frustrated. Don't worry, these things are normal. Okay, people, does this guy look like you? Are you thinking, what's for lunch? Yeah, Mom, I did it all. Probably got an A. 1,000 deadlines. I should probably call a friend and complain for an hour. Okay, but seriously, what's a Padlet? To be honest, I don't totally know what a Padlet is. So first, breathe. Okay, before I give you any advice, I need you to do one thing for me. Stay positive. Tell yourself these 3 things. Number 1, I can do this. Number 2, I am resilient. And number 3, I will learn how. If you stay open-minded, this whole process will be that much easier. First thing, create a workspace. Choose one spot that will be your school. Next, make sure it is quiet or use noise-canceling headphones to help you out. Also, really good idea, make sure it's well lit. Sit by a window or alternatively, make sure you have a lamp. Alright, workspace dues. Set your school hours. Anytime works, but remember important tests and quizzes. Move around. Do some jumping jacks, dance to one song once an hour. Take breaks. Your eyes and your body need frequent breaks. Let's call this recess. And lastly, make to-do lists. Feels great to cross things off and shows your progress. So now for some workspace don'ts. Don't have your phone near you. Use it during breaks. This will help reduce distraction. Don't leave everything until the last minute. It just doesn't make sense. Don't work all day long. Set your day. Don't do the extra things until you're done all your mandatory work first. What else? Here's some tips. 1. Get up at a set time. Don't stay up late. 2. Read instructions very carefully, maybe even twice. 3. Ask your teachers questions right away. Don't wait. 4. Participate online every day. And 5. Communicate if you're struggling and be honest. Once you're done, it's time to have fun. How can you do this? Play with your pet. Work on some art. Read a book. Go outside with your family. Help cook a meal, but make sure you get permission. Stretch. Call a friend to talk about your day. Have a dance party? That's my favorite. Relax and meditate. That's it. Wasn't so bad. Your teacher's here to help. Remember, we're in this together.
So that's the end of our short break. So thank you, Powtoon channel, for that video encouraging our students kung ano ang dapat gawin during these times, lalo na sa online class. Alam natin, student, that struggle is real, pero kapit lang, huwag bibitiw, kaya yan, sagot-sagot lang, makakakomply din tayo sa ating mga kulang. Nandyan pa ba kayo, Del Pilarians? Kung nandyan pa, please type or ilagay nyo sa comment section #Teleradyo Marcelo TLE8 laban lang para saan pat matatapos din tayo. So now let's proceed to our last portion of our lesson, which is the short quiz. Napakadali lang nito, lalong-lalo na't maiksi lang ang ating discussion ngayon. And I hope na talagang nakinig ka at nakatuto ka kanina. So let's start. For our direction, write A if the procedure of setting up the drawing tools and materials tells it must be done before the activity. And ilagay naman natin kung letter B if it is during the activity and activity proper, and C if it is after the activity. I repeat, itatype ninyo ang letter A kung ito ay kailangan before the activity, letter B naman kung during the activity, and letter C naman after the activity. So let's start. So first, perform the activity by following the standard operating procedure per job requirement. Ano kaya ito? Before, during, or after the activity? So I'll give you 5 seconds on the clock. Let's go. Okay, so I hope na nailagay nyo na agad ang sagot ninyo, and the correct answer is letter B, during the activity. Okay, next one. Number 2, properly manipulate all the tools and equipment that are used in the activity. Ano kaya ito? Before, during, or after the activity? 5 seconds, let's go. Okay, at ang tamang sagot ay letter B. So, yung mga nakaka 2 points na dyan, good job sa inyo. At sa mga wala pang points or 1 point pa lang, keep on answering our quiz at alam ko na makakarami kayo ng tama. Number 3, clean the table and tools. See to it that these are free from dust and other elements that could cause damage to your work. Okay, so the answer is letter A, before the activity. So, alam ninyo at na-remind kayo kanina na kailangan malinis ang ating lugar kapag tayo ay gagawa ng certain task sa drafting. Number 4, submit your output to your teacher for checking. Ano kaya ito? Letter A, before, letter B, during, or letter C, after? Okay, ano kaya ang tamang sagot after ng 5 seconds na clock natin? And the answer is letter C, after the activity. Ayan. So far, nakikita ko na madami ang may tamang sagot. So, kaya yan, laban lang, grade 8. Madami pang question, marami pang time para humabol sa ating perfect score or sa ating passing score. So number 5, check all the tools and materials to ensure that nothing is lost. Okay, and the answer is letter C, after the activity. Okay, let's proceed to number 6. Return the tools and materials to the toolkeeper. Ano kaya ito? Letter A, before. Letter B, during. Letter C, after. So, I'll give you 5 seconds. Kaya yung mga keyboard warrior dyan, halat i-type na ang tamang sagot. Okay, and the correct answer is letter C, after the activity. Ayan, good job po sa mga nagsasagot at nag-engage. I'm very, very thankful po sa mga grade 8 na to na hindi nakakalimutang mag-engage sa ating Teleradyo Marcelo. Number 7, malapit na. Ayan, makukumpleto nyo na yung perfect score ninyo. In case errors or mistakes along the way, use appropriate eraser. So ano kaya ito? A, B, or C? A, before. B, during. C, after. 5 seconds. Let's go. And the correct answer is letter B, during the activity. So let's proceed agad sa number 8 natin. Wash your hands with clean water. Ayan, napaka-importante ng reminder na to. So ano kaya ito? A, before. B, during. C, after. So 5 seconds on the clock. Okay, and the correct answer is A, before the activity. Okay, and then second to the last, select the tools, materials, and equipment needed in the assigned task. So, ano kaya ulit ito? A, before. B, during the activity. Or C, after the activity. Isip-isip, mga grade 8. Tignan kung ano talaga ang tamang sagot. 5 seconds. Here we go. At ang tamang sagot ay before the activity. Ayan, so we are now here to our last item. Clean your workstation before leaving. Again, ano kaya ang tamang sagot? Letter A, it is before the activity ba? Letter B, during. Letter C, after. So 5 seconds to think for the correct answer. Here we go. At ang tamang sagot po natin ay C, after the activity. Kaya naman, good job po sa lahat na naka-perfect sa comment section. Lahat po ng naka-heart react na nanggagaling sa akin. Thank you so much dahil nag-engage kayo, and I'm so proud of you dahil hindi nyo nakakalimutan tumutok dito sa ating teleradyo. Sa mga hindi naman nakascore ng perfect, bawi-bawi tayo next week. And for your assignment, hindi natin makakalimutan ng assignment. List down some important practices that must be observed in the work setting. Write your answer in your answer sheet. And that's all for our lesson for today. Thank you, and supportahan nyo ulit next week ang susunod nating topic. So see you. God bless.
Kamusta? Ako si Teleo, ang batang teleradyo. Abangan niyo ako at ang aking mga kwento. La 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 la. Wow! Ang ganda naman ng gusali. Nagandaan ka rin ba? Iyan ang unang gusali ng Marcelo, na noon ay Bulacan High School. Binuksan ito ng mga Amerikano noong 1906 sa bakuran ng Kapitolyo. Nilarawan ito bilang the best and the most modern schoolhouse sa Pilipinas noong panahong iyon. Cool, di ba? Alam mo ba, ang unang gusali ng paaralan ay makikita sa logo ng Marcelo. Cool! Yan na muna for now. See you next time. Ako ulit si Teleo, ang batang teleradyo na nagsasabing, aming dakilang paaralan ay may dakilang nakaraan. Great school, great history. Bye-bye!
Radyo is always at your service. Kaya naman, ang feedback mo, suggestions nyo ay mahalaga sa amin to improve our programs on air and online. Para alam ni teacher yung strengths as well as the things in your mind na mas makatutulong sa mas effective na pagkatuto sa teleradyo. Please take time to send your feedbacks via Teleradyo Mu, which you can access by scanning the QR code on the right or typing the URL provided here, bit.ly/3ORVAY9. One more, this time you follow. bit.ly/3ORVAY9. Kaya send your hashtag TBH o hashtag RT dito sa Teleradyo Mu, kung saan ang feedback mo, suggestions nyo ay mahalaga sa teleradyo.
Makinig, manood na sa teleradyo. Makinig, manood na sa teleradyo. Teleradyo.